So our whole common denominator, we're going to get, because it just came out, was the Kai 2000, MPC 2000. So we got MPC 2000s. We faced them toward each other in his living room while watching TV. Like we would have the TV on, or we would go down to the video stores and find the stupidest videos we could find of just like, well, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
This dude is one of the goofiest, funniest producers of all time, man. If you have no idea of what's going on, we are checking out the great Prince Paul. And he's long overdue, man. He still needs his props. He's another producer that does not get the shine and love I believe that he deserves, man. And he's one of the pioneers of this hip hop thing. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing this interview with Open Mike Eagle. And I want you guys to see the growth of his journey. And I want you guys to see why this dude is a genius, man.
We watched the video. It was a woman in heels walking up and down a hill. That was the whole video. And walking through, click, click, click. They'd show her feet. It was like an hour. We like watching just the dumbest thing.
Well, what did that inspire y'all to do? What did these videos inspire y'all to do?
Just make us laugh. It just kept everything lighthearted. Okay.
So I wanted to show you guys that because it shows how lighthearted he is and that he just makes beats for fun. He's doing it for fun. He wants to have a good time. And that's why, and for those that don't know, this man is behind De La Soul. He produced the first 3 albums of De La Soul. 3 Feet High and Rising. And matter of fact, shout out your favorite Prince Paul beat. What is your favorite Prince Paul beat? For the Prince Paul heads, let me know in the comments below. This man has produced for, of course, De La Soul, comedian Chris Rock, That's a Sonic, which was basically Roots before Roots. Also Gravediggers. And we're going to get into that. So keep watching because we're going to break down one of his beats from that. All right, so let's continue. I'm going to show you this next clip. Check this out. Speaking of Gravediggers, this video talks about the origins of it.
And so I was in a depressed state and I was like, you know, now mind you, before the Avenger movies came out, I was like, I'm going to get all these guys with great rapping abilities. I'm going to...
Okay, let me stop it real quick because the music was real loud at the beginning. He said something very important. He went through some tough times, man, with the music industry. Then he was started to get pushed out of De La Soul as far as the production. They wasn't using him as much. And so, he, felt a type of way.
Rapping abilities. I'm going to put them together. We're going to show everybody that we could, defeat whack rappers. I don't know, whatever I was thinking at the time. And I gave everybody a call, and they said they were cool with it. And I met at my house in Long Island. The whole thing was a whole bunch of, a few artists trying to get back on into the music industry. And you got to understand, this is Prince Rakeem before he became the RZA, which he named himself in my house, I might add. That's a little fun fact. I've known him since the late 80s, and we started making demos together.
You and him?
Yeah, I got those joints, man. Ooh, they're crazy. RZA made up the name. All right, we're the Gravediggers. Yeah, that's dope. So what's our individual names? And he made the name in my house. He's like, I'm going to be the RZA-rector. I'm going to spell it RZA.
So even though RZA did come up with the group name, Gravediggers, Prince Paul was the one that put it together. He was the one that called everybody, let's do this thing. And so they did it. So now let me go on to the third clip. Shout out to Tracklib. This is on Tracklib. Diary of a Madman. And that is the song we're going to break down. Let's go.
When people talk about Diary of a Madman and the Gravedigger record, I produced that record. But I divvied out the credit because it goes through a chain of people, and I'll explain how it happened. And no one can dispute this. The sample originally came from RZA's homeboy, RNS. So RZA said, yo, I got the sample, but my boy has it, but I want to use it, and it worked good for the Gravediggers. So I was like, cool, let me take it and let me flip it. So I took the loop, sample, and said, but we got to give him credit. All right, we'll give him credit. RNS gets credit for this record. RZA gets credit because it went through RNS to RZA, and me, who I finally put the whole record together, programmed the drums, put all the chord pieces and stuff in it. But when you look at the credits and everybody goes, yeah, RZA produced it, and RNS, but Paul had nothing to do with it. I'm like,
that's insane. So as you can see his face, he's like, man, what? He's the one that put the beat together, right? But as you could clearly see, it says produced. If you look at the credits, it says produced by RNS and RZA. And that's because they were the ones that picked the sample. So I guess back in those days, if you picked the sample, that means you produced it. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comments. Was that fair? Is that stretching? Y'all let me know in the comments below.
But they based the production off the sample and not the actual work. So it's kind of weird. Like, the founder of the sample gets more credit than the person who actually put the song together. So, you know, and that's partially my fault because I'm like, I want to get everybody credit and everybody, you know, I'm trying to be super duper fair. When in essence, it really should have been produced by Prince Paul, sample provided by this person through the RZA. And people argue, Paul, you had nothing to do with that. RZA did that. I see the credits. It's obviously a Prince Paul production. You could hear how it's done. You know, nobody makes stuff like that, at least during that time, you know.
So shout out to Prince Paul, man, clearing that up for those that did not believe that he actually produced that beat, which is insane. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because the Gravediggers was a very dark sound versus when he was with De La Soul, it was a very light-hearted. A lot of stuff was just silly. So he went from silly to just dark. And I showed you the reason why, which is why I showed you those clips. And when he talked about the court stuff, Prince Paul is like the pioneer of skits in music. So whenever you hear skits in between songs, that's because of Prince Paul. He started that. If there's some people that did it before him, write it down in comments. If I'm wrong or if he's wrong, you know what I'm saying? Just let me know. So let's start out with the drums. I think I could put this in here too. We're talking about skits. He has the chord stuff in here. Check this out.
Stressful to try to avoid all my impure thoughts. I'm losing my mind and it's...
Can you please explain to this court when these problems first began?
The year 84, November, day 10.
All right, so that's RZA rapping on his verse. I want you to pay attention to these hi-hats. He has two hi-hats going, guys. Two hi-hats. First part. Like the breakdown and brings it in with the verse with the second hi-hat. So it's like a layered hi-hat, like kind of like an open hi-hat slightly. I thought that was dope. So now let's listen to the main samples. Now these are two Johnny Mathis samples, right? Two. This is the first one. Here's the second one. This is the verse part. Right? I'm gonna show you why that's so dope. That first section, what he did was filter it. And I didn't even notice it at first. Original sample. Alright? This is called Warm and Tender. When you filter it, it's like that. So that's kind of like the breakdown. The other sample, No Love But Your Love. That goes like this. Right? That's a love song. He made a love song sound super dark. All right? Then he threw the drums on there from the intro. Verse. Now, why does that feel so good, man? You go from this section, it's two different keys. First part of the song is in this key, F minor. And then it goes into the verse, it goes down a half step to E minor. Down here, right here. All right, so anytime you have like a half step difference, it just feels good for some reason, man. It's just because it's not expected. I think that's the reason. It's just like, well, where'd that come from? So to me, that's one of the reasons what makes this song so dope, man. That inspired me to do my own thing. And listening to these sounds, especially during the Halloween season, if you want to make scary type beats or dark beats, there's some elements. And I've talked about this in other videos. You can check it out. Strings, organ, and a choir. If you have those three, then you good. And maybe some sound effects. So now let's listen to what I have. And I'm going to start with the drums. And for the intro, which was inspired from Prince Paul, I have them started like this. By the way, he did use an SP1200. All right. I got that going. Then when I go into the next part, I kind of build the drums up. Going to the next part. All right. So that could be like the verse. Then what I did was I wanted to throw some effects on there. So that sounds like this. It sounds kind of like some chains. So that gives it that dark atmosphere. All right. Next sound is guitar. So I'm going to leave a link to everything that I'm using. This one comes from Verysick Guitar. So check it out. Right? It's a chopped up guitar loop. Going into the next part. Watch it change keys. Watch this. Hear that? So it went down 1/2 step, all right? For the bass, I didn't do anything for the intro. I just played the bass for the verse part. And that sounds like this. Just got a one shot from Verysickbeats. All right, so I left some space in there. Next sound is an organ. This is during the intro. Next part. Just one chord, minor chord. Anytime you want a dark beat, use minor chords. I repeat, anytime you want to make a dark type of beat, use minor chords. That's it. Next part, strings. That's another element. So for these strings, I decided to use a mellotron. All right, so it does that a couple of times, and then for the verse part, so it sounds kind of cinematic. So that's why you want to use strings. Next part is vocals. So you want to have a choir sound or a vocal sound. So I used this female choir sound from Alchemy, which is a stock sound in Logic. That sounds like this. Right, and then I layered it with this vocal sound called Clear. This is in Contact. I don't know if it's still free, but it's called Clear Solo. So for the next part, I just had her layered with the choir. So that's a nice little layer when you put like a solo on top of a choir, you know what I'm saying? And once again, this is inspired from Prince Paul, even though it don't really sound like Prince Paul, but it is dark. Again, these are just inspirational videos, man. Using concepts, use them in your own way. That's all I'm doing. We have just 2 sections. That's it. And I'll just repeat them so you can hear it. Like that acoustic guitar, organ, sound effect, choir. you could repeat this first part as many times as you want if you want to, or you could just take 4 bars and just repeat that. You do it however you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Just there's no rules to this thing. Another thing that Prince Paul talks about is just not really having knowledge. You know, being stupid just makes you more exploratory. You know, it just makes you just do whatever because there's no rules to follow, which is why the first De La Soul joint, that's why it was so big, because he didn't know what he was doing. They was just having fun. So, you know, just wanted to point that out, man. So he went from being silly and crazy to dark and twisted. And if you follow his latest albums where he, you know, the solo stuff, he went back to being silly and crazy and just all that stuff. So yeah, shout out to the great Prince Paul. If you like videos like this, check out this next video, and I will see you guys on the next one. I'm sending peace and positive energy. Yeah.